Hello there, you're on the Heart of Reddit channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Get your popcorn ready and enjoy. Getting kind of fired. I work a second part-time job being the night closing supervisor for a gym. It gets me a free membership and beer money. I've been there for 5+ years, and I'm rarely late for a shift. My real job, 8-5, was crazy and ran long. Being a long crazy day, I would have rather gone home and played video games. But I'm a good employee and rushed off to my second job. Two steps into the building, the daytime guy jokes, "You're 2 minutes late. You're fired." I know full well he doesn't have the power to fire me, so I replied sweet, and walked back to my car. He must have thought I was joking. At it, B. See, he didn't yell for me to come back. I went home and played games for an hour before answering my phone. My actual supervisor was begging, telling me to go back and let the poor guy go home. Edit. On time. I relented and went back and do in fact still work there. Edit. Since people seem to think I'm a dick or somehow screwing him over. No, he wasn't mad. He was shocked I walked that quick, and laughed when I came back. Shifts overlap and he went home perfectly on time. Also, it's a freaking gym, fold towels, which he didn't do, and left for me. Talk to people. Pick up after ass hats, who can't put their own weights away. Shower shoes. I went through Paris Island Recruit Depot a long time ago, just after the Vietnam War ended. This was a time when the drill instructors, D, could still hit you and laugh about it. Anyway, as you progressed through the 12 weeks, close order drill was supposed to improve. We practiced constantly with our drill movements as the Ds had to impress the officers. Our Ds, however, were never satisfied. I mean never. When the cadence was off, they would exclaim, "You sound like you're in shower shoes," referring to the required flip-flops we had to wear in the shower area. The sandals would make a noise that was definitely not in rhythm. Concurrent with training was the change in the platoon guide, where one recruit was chosen to lead the platoons in marches and drill practice. You held the platoon flag instead of your M16, and it was quite an honor, at least to a 17-year-old. Week 9 we spent on the rifle range. The rifle range was fun as it was different than our normal day-to-day. I was chosen as the guide that week and I endeavored to prove my leadership. One night during our showers, the fire alarm went off, forcing everyone out into the street in our skivvies and shower shoes. As guide, it was my job to make sure all the squads lined up properly, and I was to move the platoon away from the barracks, down the street. As I assembled the recruits, I noticed the entire officer command of the depot was on hand to observe. I could not resist this opportunity, and in my loudest voice I yelled, "Move it, recruits. You all sound like you're marching in shower shoes." Needless to say, while the platoon thought this was funny as hell, my Ds went absolutely ape shit. They made a show of stripping my guide honors right there, and I went back to being a lowly Marine wanto. I still think it was funny, now many years later. Fucking Ds couldn't take a joke. Okay, I won't interrupt you again. I waitressed in Chicago to pay my tuition at the U of I, in a popular Italian restaurant. The owners were true paisano, fresh off the boat. It was a very decent job for a student. I made good money. The chef, who also happened to be the owner's sister, always sent me home with enough leftovers to make it through the week. I had a great schedule, and the owner's wife was a nice lady. The owner, however, was a misogynist dick of the first degree, and we did not get along at all. One day he called an informal meeting right before opening, and everyone from the dishwasher to the hostess was gathered around a big table. I was the last person to sit down because I had been in kitchen for some reason, and while in the kitchen I noticed that a burner had been left on and a large frying pan had a good olive oil fire going. I ran to the table and said, "Enzo, there's a fire," and he shouted, "Don't interrupt me." So I said okay and sat the fuck down. I knew that the building wasn't going to burst into flames immediately because the pan was under a large hood, and there was nothing else on the stove. So I sat down and nudged a co-worker and pointed. The kitchen had 2 small windows in them, and you could see the stinky black smoke. Everyone ran into the kitchen except for me. The fire was extinguished and the only residue was the smell of smoke and a burned pan. Enzo came storming out and started to berate me, and I just said, "You told me to shut up." I could see that several other employees were stifling their laughter, but alas, no one applauded. Frying with olive oil. Any good Italian cook worth their salt uses butter for frying, and keeps the olive oil for salads. Duly noted.